Hello everyone, welcome again in Eng-Man YouTube channel. So we will have another 5 things you need to know in petroleum engineering episode. And today's topic, we will talk about water flood. Right, so the first point we have is about voidage replacement ratio. I take from this paper, very good paper. All right, so voidage replacement ratio can be designed in the range of 1.5 to 2 in order to offset the pressure decline and overcome the problem of forming the secondary gasket. Okay, so basically, usually we set the voidage replacement ratio of 1 to maintain the reservoir pressure, but now we can say that we can increase the target for VRR, voidage replacement ratio, to 1.5 or even to 2, okay? But we have the purpose, which is to offset the pressure decline and to prevent the forming of the secondary gasket. Okay, so it's not a rigid VRR of unity. You can relax, the target, but I think you need to calculate what is the injection rate target that you need. And thus you can calculate the VRR. In this, in this case, the best practice that they perform in their field is that ultimately they require 1.5 to 2 of the VRR. All right. And the second point is about increased water injection temperature leading to improved recovery factor. Okay, you can see this point from this paper. All right, I've addressed this issue in another video. Okay, so increasing the temperature of injection water might result in increased oil recovery. This is very important. And this is the correlation. It's very simple. It's handy to use. You just need to know the temperature, the surface temperature, the reservoir temperature, specific gravity, and then of course the viscosity ratio. Okay, so if you know all of those parameters, you can use this simple calculation to forecast, to estimate the recovery factor. And this is the results. You can see that by increasing the temperature from 95 to 194, you have improved recovery factor. So this is the second point, which is very interesting, right? And important. All right. And the third point is about thief zone. Okay. You can read it from this paper. It's a very good paper. And let's read it together. Okay, so thief zone evolves from long-term water flooding. Okay, so it is the result of evolution, okay, from long-term water flood. During long-term water injection, sand production and clay erosion will contribute to the variation of formation structure, which may lead to the widespread evolution of thief zones. I've addressed this issue also in another video in Waterflood playlist about thief zone. So this is very important. Thief zone evolves from long-term water flood, especially from sand production and clay erosion during that long water flood. And the fourth point, still about thief zone, effect of water saturation on thief zone development. This is very, very, very important. You can read it from this paper, right? So the water saturation increases in high permeability channel with water passing through, which gradually leads to higher value of water phase relative permeability, and thus leads to higher value of effective permeability, K multiplied by KRW. So this is the product of permeability and relative permeability to water. In the high permeable channel than that in surrounding reservoir. Okay, let's follow the idea here. The gradually increasing difference of effective permeability, K multiplied by KRW, between permeable channel and surrounding reservoir will be the main reason for formation of thief zones in major reservoir. Let's continue. The saturation difference is an important factor for the formation of some thief zone in major reservoir. The absolute permeability heterogeneity is the initial factor. But another very important factor is the saturation difference. The area permeability, heterogeneity, and water displacing lead to the uneven saturation distribution in major reservoirs. The increase of the water saturation in high permeable region leads to higher value of this KKRW in the high permeability region than the value of KKRW in ordinary reservoir. And gradually, the high mobility region becomes thief zone. So this is the origin of the thief zones. Okay, so I conclude these points. So initially you have heterogeneous reservoir where you will have high permeability channel or high permeability region. Okay, and then you perform water flood. Of course, the water will prefer to flow through the high permeability streak, high permeability region, high permeability channel. And because water continuously flow majority across that channel, then of course that channel will have, increased water saturation. And increased water saturation will lead to increased relative permeability to water. And if you have higher relative permeability to water, then you will have higher effective permeability for the water. And as a result, the water will always go and prefer that high saturation, high effective water permeability, high mobility for the water region, which has been developed continuously during the long-term water flood. And that is the origin of the thief zone that will always steal your water when you inject the water. Okay. And lastly, the thief zone in pressure transient analysis, you can read it from this paper. Okay, if you perform pressure transient analysis, the general behavior of well intersected by high permeability streak is like this. And that the left figure is without wellbore storage and skin effects. The right figure with wellbore storage and skin effects. Simply put, they look like vertical fracture. All right, so if you perform pressure transient analysis, they will look like a vertical fracture. So high permeability streak thief zone behaves like vertical fracture. Okay, so I think that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video is useful. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in the next Waterflood or Eng-Man videos. Thank you.